It's all about birds. If you like birds, you're going to like this. And this is the first one. Thank you. The songs on the record are kind of tied to these visuals over here, and these are that looks like Manly underwater actually, the underwater aquarium or something. My friend Robert Hamling did the visualisers for it in Sydney. Yeah, so we go over to Ireland a bit and the country. Spent a bit of time there, and we noticed that there was basically it's a magical place to go for me and creatively and everything else. But some people go there to find their roots and all of that. I've certainly done all that. But we heard a rumour about all these birds gathering in the evenings in winter, the starlings, and they apparently these great clumps of them, thousands of them, hundreds of thousands of them, in the sky, cavorting, doing lava lamp kind of shapes, ballooning out, following each other around like a school of fish, but these amazing shapes in the sky in the evening. And these, we were told by the locals, you've got to go and see them, but we were always missing them or something. We were all going to the wrong place. We were getting Irish directions, basically, which is like, if you go over the road and you can see the White House, then you've gone too far. This sort of stuff. And if there's a horse, don't talk to it. Ignore it. So we eventually found where they were, and but I'll get to that bit later. Thanks for being so quiet. But anyway, we looking at the birds, and we were told to go down a farm road and concrete road that ended up going into a dirt road, and had to go by a white house. It was a white house with a red car out the front, and we had to climb over a fence and go through all the briars and the prickles and everything else, and waited in 200 metres from this wood in this field watching. And slowly but surely, this over the top of our heads, these birds were flying, and these starlings, and they were like gathering. There was like you hear them like compressed air being released, and it was it's interesting. And suddenly, out of this forest, this giant cloud of birds just appeared and started doing this balletic lava lamp thing, which just was entrancing. It was freezing cold. We weren't prepared. And they did it for about 15 minutes and then it just stopped. And we weren't too sure why they were doing it. But anyway, they call it a gathering of starlings, like they call it a gathering of crows, a murder of crows. A parliament of owls apparently is the other one. I told you this is all about birds. I hope you like birds. I don't know whether they like us though. So here we go. Are you still with me? That's what I want to drink. Probably, but not right now. I'm a bit busy up here. They drink a bit in Ireland, though. There's a fella here tonight, Mark, from a band I produced in Adelaide a few years ago, the Huckleberry Swedes. Give him a hand. I think BJ's here too. Is he here? Hey. There'll be trouble with those guys around. I'm telling this story about the birds. When I was in Melbourne, my son came along and he said, "Dad, don't tell the shaggy dog stories." And I looked up what a shaggy dog story was. It's basically a story that goes on and doesn't have a satisfying ending. Which is how all dads are judged, actually. Do we have any dads in the audience tonight? Ooh, okay. Very quiet. Anyway, when we were in Ireland, we got addicted to going down, there they are, to going down to see them. And every time, it was about 5:45 every night, and cold winter nights, we ended up having gloves and scarves and beanies and everything else. It was freezing cold. And we started filming them, so these are sort of part of the film. And basically, we used a cardboard box as a tripod because we didn't have a tripod. And every day they come a little bit later. So as the days were getting slightly warmer, you could almost time them, and they do their thing and disappear down. And sometimes you see a hawk amongst them. You'd see like an owl or something chasing them. And that was partly, we were trying to, why do they do this? What is this? What, you know, but they were doing it anyway. So that was a shaggy dog story. Kids. Okay, so we come to Thursday. So we kept going down every day of the week. So this song's called Thursday. Look at it. Where you filmed that? Christabel filmed that, over there. Give a hand to Christabel. It looked like it was choreographed, and there wasn't really anyone there to witness it, apart from us. Everyone was inside probably watching television or Fox News or, you know, their homework, or doom scrolling probably, or carrying out their idea about what was important. But this was just amazing and incredible thing to witness. So when I came to make the album, these birds were in my mind. And the album's completely improvised. So I was trying to emulate the sound of birds without, you know, going squawk, squawk, squawk into a microphone. And I'd seen gatherings of birds before in Sydney on Parramatta Road. Like you'd see cockatoos swooping down over that, and it wasn't quite the same. It wasn't as epic. Thanks. So we came back to Australia and I did a bunch of things online, 140 of these quite OCD inspired things during COVID. Every day I'd put something online, me mucking around on the guitar. And then at the end of it I went into a real studio and put a few of these things down, completely off the top of my head of course, and completely forgot about it. And came back after the big Midnight Oil tour of last year, which was monumental, huge, beyond, bigger than Ben-Hur, like 55,000 people. That was even a small gig. And crazy amount of sort of emotion because it's the farewell tour. And then when I got back, I was like I don't know, like a bean that had been left too long in the boiling water. I was just sort of flaccid, lying around the house. And Christabel said, "You look like a dog who'd forgotten where he'd buried his bone," which is true. And so I went back to the studio and I looked at these recordings and I put them on and I realised, oh my God, you know, it's good. It's like I lived with it for a little while and it's very quiet music, and I think artists always create worlds for themselves when they make music, and this was a world that I needed to inhabit at that point, and that's what Murmurations is. That's what this is. All right. So this is the last track. There will be a bit of a break. I'll come back and play a few tunes, songs for you. It's busy with the aeroplanes, isn't it? If I was playing louder, you wouldn't even hear that. So, oh, louder. Okay. So I'd like to thank Rob Hamming for doing the great visualisers he's done over there. And, and all the crew tonight. Kev on the sound, who I know from way back in the oil days. Wonderful man. There's a word in the English language called quotidian, and it means the everyday and the ordinary. And these birds were like that just did it every day. And it sort of helped me. It helps sort of you when you look at nature like this, is sort of to notice it. And noticing is what it's all about. And the small things, the sunsets, the trees, the water, the landscape, the birds, and just kind of celebrate it, because it's the normal stuff, but there's nothing really ordinary about any of it, really. Amen. See you in a bit.